Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Yes, it's me. I'm live. I'm live today. I'm here with you on Happy Wednesday. So, welcome to the Be Your Own Hero Show. Heroes is an acronym. It means, oh, you know what? Let me do the other affirmation it means. It means helping. No. He, now I can't remember it. Highly output. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to remember what that is. But Reverend Mel has an acronym for hero that's different than mine, and it sounds so good. And I thought I had it right at the top of my brain, but I guess not. Anyway, so my definition for hero is helping everyone reaps optimism. Helping helping everyone reaps optimism. So that's what we're going to be today. Maybe by tomorrow, I'll remember Reverend Mel's uh, her acronym. I still can't get it. Still can't get it. Anyway, moving on. I'm your host. I'm Sacred Rights. I'm an author and a motivational speaker. I am here to talk to you about money, and I'm here to talk about winning. About winning. So shout out to New Thought Media Network for giving me the space and opportunity to give me the space and opportunity to be willing to have me on the show. We start recovering from a stroke and dealing with that. Deal with that. Yeah, dealing with that. Okay, so all right. So let me just skip right to it. First of all, Studio A. Studio A. Studio A. I'm in Studio A. For those of you who've been watching the show, wait a minute, you had to watch the show. Wait. Well, actually, you actually saw the show yesterday and the day before. You saw the same show 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row. You saw the same show 3 times in a row. I did that show on Friday live from Florida. And then I played the same episode Monday. Then played the same episode Tuesday. So let me explain what's been going on. So what's been going on is I traveled from Florida to Nashville over the weekend. But we had some things going on family wise Monday. So I set up a quick, a quick, you know, disclaimer. Well, disclaimer. A quick what's the word? I set up a show. I set up a show, right? And I told you that in this show, in the Friday show, that I had been struggling in my Thursday show, which was only 3 minutes. 3 minutes instead of choosing an actual show to put in. So this time I put in an actual show, and I put one in for Monday because I wasn't sure if I had enough time, right? And then Tuesday, Tuesday. Let's talk about Tuesday. All right, Tuesday, I could have fought for it. I could have fought for it. I could have fought for it, and I felt bad when I did my show. Well, no, sorry. I watched my show, lying in bed, and then I saw Reverend Mel come on because she started talking about how she was away doing South by Southwest and how she felt tired from traveling, and she just had all the talking in her ear and all this stuff, all these reasons why she wouldn't do it. But she pushed back. She pushed back. She told herself like, "No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it." And that made me feel bad because I felt that same kind of drama, but I let myself lose. And let me understand. Let me let you understand that I don't feel bad about losing. What I feel is grateful for the lesson I've learned, right? Because she learned and she got up and she did her show, and her show was great. It was great. It was all this energy that she was able to sacrifice for herself, that she was able to glean for herself. Meanwhile, I, on the other hand, created a stream of minuscule minuscule failures. Minuscule failures. See, because I didn't do my show, right? And my show really gives me a lot of energy. Helping me help you gives me a lot of energy. And I forgot that. And I didn't give you guys my full energy. I press play for the third recap again. And that affected me. And I found that when I finally did my run, and my run yesterday was, woo, I mean, yesterday was about to not happen. I know you hear me say it a lot, but I'm telling you, yesterday almost didn't happen. Almost didn't happen. So I got out there fully dressed with a coat on, with a coat on. Yeah, a coat on. Out there in the rain, and I walked. I walked a mile and a half, thanks to my mom saying, you were gonna do the exercise a mile and a half. I was like, oh man, that was an accident, but I said it, and so I decided to honor it that day. So I walked for a mile and a half, and it was hard. it was hard. But my point is, I was only able to run for little bits of time within that mile and a half. I run a little bit and I stop. Run a little bit, then I stop. And I think that this is the time where I've run the least of my running per day. Maybe one other time it was close to this. And my reasons for doing this was, I feel like it was connected to me not doing the show. Like saying no to the show resulted in other no's throughout the day. And that evolved into a no for my run walk. And my run walk, I still got it done, but it wasn't at the higher level that I've been keeping it as. So it took me about half an hour, more than like 15 minutes. Like 10, 15 minutes has been my usual to just get out there and run it. But walking it took me 30 minutes. Took me 30 minutes. So that's really interesting to me, for me to know that you got to stay winning. You got to keep winning. You got to keep winning, because your win in one area sets you up for your win in other areas, right? Your win or your loss in one area sets you up for your win or your loss in other areas. All right. All right. So I had to say, I had to get that out the way and say why. Well, why I haven't done the Welcome to Nashville episode yet. So welcome to Nashville. I'm back. I'm in Studio A, where I started all the studios in my mom's house. And yeah, and so that was a really eye-opening experience as well. So shout out to Reverend Mel for getting me out here doing my show again, doing it live. Okay, so there's a couple of things I want to talk about. I think I'm going to make it a best of, not quite best of, but best of my life in terms of things that have been going on. So let me just see if there's some comments that I need to respond to. Let's see. Hey, Fee King. Fee King is tagging all these people. Telling me, you guys miss me. Thank you, Fee King. All right. And Fee is tagging the universe. It's tagging everybody. And Fatima's tagging someone too. Thank you, Fatima. And let's see. Reverend Mel teaches us not to compare ourselves to our failures. Failure and safety don't go hand in hand. Yeah, failure. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I want to make sure though that I'm speaking to learning, learning from something that could have gone wrong. Because I could have done what I did yesterday. I could have just done the 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 not doing the show, playing an old episode, and then not and then going out and do my run walk, and then not gotten the two connections without getting the connections. And there are other things that I failed at too that were yesterday. And so it's just a reminder that these one small miss can affect your misses throughout the day. So that's important. That's important. Okay, so a couple of things I want to talk about. Mm, okay, so I was I was at the hospital recently, and the surgeon was speaking to me, and he saw this. He saw my wristband. I wasn't trying to hold it out or anything, but he just happened to notice my wristband. And he asked me, you see, I'm struggling trying to tell the story because I have not told the story yet. I just remembered it really. But he asked me about why I was wearing the wristbands. Was I okay? Was everything okay? Everything okay? So yeah, everything's fine. And I told him what I was there for, that these are for a stroke. And I expected that when I let him know how long it's been, he'd be like, oh, no worries. But I said 8 months, and he was like, oh, and he had that reaction like, oh, you're up and available and useful at 8 months in, and he says, you're not using any equipment, and by that he meant a cane. And so he says that, and then we both look at each other for a minute. And I said, yes, under great refrain am I choosing not to use my cane. And he started laughing. And I started laughing. And he was like, all right, respect that. Respect that. And then he gave me the number to a neuropsychologist who I don't know. I haven't called yet, but I'm going to call, and I'm going to find out what this man has for me. But isn't that great that this surgeon saw everything just from me wearing these bands? Because if I hadn't been wearing these bands, then that conversation would have been quick and easy. But this added on to the conversation. These added on to the conversation. And invited him to give more of what he had to give. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to find out what this neuroscientist has to offer. And yeah, I'm going to find out. I'm going to give him a call and explain the situation and find out what he has to offer. Because I got to tell you, I miss going to therapy. Like, I don't know if I don't think I was talking about it much then, but going to therapy just gave me something concrete, physical. I don't know. It was really, there was something good about it. Something good about it. So anyway, I'm looking forward to talking to the neuroscientist and finding out what's next for me. Who knows? Who knows? So that's number one that I want to talk about. All right. Now another best of. Another best of. Okay. So as I was explaining, I traveled from Florida to Nashville over the weekend, and my my parents wanted to make sure that I was at the airport early, very early. I thought we were going to get something to eat first, but nope, took me straight to the airport. So I was there at the airport very, very early, and so I was there for like 3 flights ahead of mine. And so I was there sitting in front of the the place because I was sitting in one of those wheelchairs. I'd been placed in one of those wheelchairs, and I was watching the people go by. At some point, one other person was placed in a wheelchair near me, and we exchanged pleasantries. And at some point, she looked a little distressed. And I asked her what was wrong, and she said she needed to go to the restroom. So the restrooms were right behind us. They're right behind us, and I knew that I could make it. So I got up and I helped her by pushing her wheelchair from where it was over to the bathroom, and um, she felt very appreciative of this because she was trying to figure out how she's gonna get somebody to go to the bathroom, and she was trying to find somebody, wasn't able to find somebody. So I took her to the restroom, wheeled her back, and then we resumed our seated positions. But anyway, so after that, we'll just more chit chat, and I kind of tell on myself. When she asked me what I did, I told her that I was a writer of some non-specific kind. I wasn't even clear that I was an author. I wasn't clear that I was. Let me come to that this way. So she says, "Oh well, that's great because she's working on her dissertation and she needs someone to help her with the dissertation." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." Like I'm not sure where my mindset is in working on something as detailed as a dissertation. I'm not sure. But what struck me was I opted to offer that instead of I'm a motivational speaker. I did not tell her I was a motivational speaker. Did not tell her I was a motivational speaker. So I was like, why did I do that? And so later on in the conversation, I tried to swing it back around, swing it back around, and mention the fact that I was a motivational speaker. And I did, but her response was much less enthusiastic. And I wonder if it's because it's not what I set out as what I do, period. And I was like, man, I don't, like I said, I don't know if I have the brain strength to work with a dissertation, number one, but why did I choose not to put my best foot forward and say that I'm a motivational speaker? Now I had the whole flight to deal with this, right? Had the whole flight. Don't you know, in the Uber home, right? So Uber home. All right, so I've done all the travel, gotten to Nashville, taken a Uber home from Nashville Airport to home, and the woman who's driving the Uber again asked me about what I do, and you would think that this would be the greatest opportunity for me to put it forward, right? Put forward, put forward, motivational speaker. No, no. This time I emphasized that I'm an author. Like I got myself off from random writer to specifically writing books, and that of course turned into all these theories and talks about writing and this and that and the other. And so that was nice, but it wasn't where I wanted to go. It wasn't where I wanted to go, and I couldn't even figure out a way in the second equation. I couldn't figure out a way to move back to being a motivational speaker. So both opportunities were kind of like borderline. And those two opportunities reminded me that I have to really, really, truly be myself. I have to truly own the fact that I am a motivational speaker. I've got to own that for myself so that I can speak that confidently. So I can say that first and foremost, so I can get out there, because both of them could have offered me opportunities. Who knows? Who knows? But I had to recognize that in my mind, as I move out into the world, I'm not able to claim it that I'm a motivational speaker. And so I have to try harder. I have to try harder. All right. So that was my second, um, my second best of. My second best of. Let me go back to the first one for a second. I just realized that the doctor could also notice some things about me. He knew just like right just by looking at me, which side it was on. He was like, oh, slight drainage or whatever word he used, slight pull on the right side. I was like, wow, you can tell? It's like, yes, I can tell. And that's before he gave me the number to the neuroscience place. So anyway, so now I'm playing back and forth, but that was two big things that I wanted to talk about. Third big thing, and this is the final one, is this book. This book. I left the book right here, right by my desk, right here by all my trophies, right? And I wanted to talk about it a little more because I feel like I didn't give you a good enough example when I spoke about it next time. So I'm not sure, but I wanted to mention one of these. All right, so this is it. This is a quotation from a part of the book called The Trauma Body. The Trauma Body. Yeah, right? People with unresolved trauma get sicker and die younger. People with unresolved people with unresolved trauma get sicker and die younger. That's real. That's real. So you've got to address the way you address stress. Anyway, physical dysfunction boils down to one common denominator: stress. Stress is more than just a mental state, it is an internal condition that challenges homeostasis. Like, I hope you're getting some of this. I hope you're getting some of this because this book, How to Do the Work, yeah, there's so much here. There's so much here. There's so much here that's beyond what you've talked about, what you've learned about, if you've only done psychology for the curing of your ails. Like, yes, there's that, but yeah, that's not enough. That's not enough. Okay, I'm gonna let it go now. I'm gonna let it go now. But as long as I'm here, I'm gonna keep doing. I'm gonna keep reading How to Do the Work, and try to pull you into some experiments, because the trauma body is really profound. And also, I'm reading the book again myself because my memory of the book revolves around the emphasis of the book and how it changed everything, but not how it changed, but not specifically how it changed my life. You know, like I remember that it made my life feel different, right? But not how, not how. So I'm gonna keep reading with that, and hopefully I'll be able to read it with you, because even that I just read was a little dense for me. But anyway, I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Okay, so those were my three things that I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about the surgeon. I want to talk about the wait a minute. What did I just talk about? Oh, the surgeon, the motivational speaker. Got to get that down, and how to do the work. Those are the three things I want to talk about today. And yeah, so I'm giving you all a break on the oh no, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. We got a couple of minutes left. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Number one. All right. So for those of you that don't know, you're going to take money out of your main place where you keep your money and place it somewhere else. And I got just enough time to tell a quick story. My my checking account had an error message when I went in to check something, my brokerage account. And I was like, what is this? And I remembered that I was thinking I have to wait until business hours. I had to wait till 9 a.m. and wait for stock office hours from 9:30 to like 3:30. And then I remembered that 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 your money, when you put your money in a brokerage account, is available to you 24/7. I just called right before I started the show. I was like, wow, open 24 hours. Now think about that. Think about how much easier it is to have your money in places where you can talk to someone about it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, versus me having to figure out when, you got to wait until the thing is, until until the hour is right, until you gotta count through all those different recordings, got to count through all that stuff, versus you just call and they're like, hello, like they're ready to talk. So there's something to it, is my point. There's something to it. So, in other words, use your money, put your money in places where you have 24-hour access, because they give you a whole different level of service, regarding your money, and you will feel grown. That's the best word that could come out. You could feel grown. You feel like, all right, you're dealing with something. Even if you only got $1 in there, even if you got $1 in there, they will treat you like you got $1 million in there. For real. For real. All right. Oh yeah. So so someone was saying when I don't do the dice, she puts the number 3. Yeah, I was thinking about you. I was thinking about you when I didn't do the dice a second ago. So I did it. I did it. Today's dice is number one. Number one. And yeah, set aside that money. Set aside that money. Set aside that money, because you will see that it's growing. It will grow. It's growing. All right. So that's it. I am back live, coming to you live from Nashville, Tennessee. And where's my stuff? 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 Oh, here we go. I am not a financial advisor. I am not a physical advisor. So take what I say with a grain of salt. Keep doing. Keep doing. Be your own hero. And remember that now is better than perfect. Now is better than perfect. All right. I'll see you live tomorrow. Later.